The Action News is a proud partner of the annual Our Heroes Luncheon hosted by Sykes Enterprises at the Tampa Convention Center. Now in its 20th year, the event achieves a very important mission of honoring our law enforcement and first responders in Hillsborough County. One of our favorite parts of this process is getting to know the brave men and women being honored from each agency. And among the heroes this year are the reserve firefighter and the deputy who saved the truck driver from this crash. On June the 14th, 2013, this tractor trailer veered off of I-75, crashed through a retaining wall, and fell more than 70 feet into the Alafaya River. Joining us with the rest of this very amazing story, we want to welcome the reserve firefighter, Mr. John Fragomeni. Am I pronouncing that? Fragomeni. And then Deputy Philip Merkel with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Also joining them is Andrea Burnett-Thomas with Sykes Enterprises that hosts this wonderful event. When I look at that video, I can't believe that the truck driver made it out. The two of you were driving on I-75 when the truck lost control. Can you tell me, Deputy, when did you realize something was wrong?
I was traveling southbound on 75, 2 lanes over from the truck, and I heard a loud explosion. I looked to my left, and that's when I observed the truck and its trailer go over the wall. I saw actually the bottom of the truck, and then it continued over the overpass, and I knew we were over the river.
So you saw the wheels of this huge truck come off the pavement, and you thought at that moment?
I thought, he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, and so I went over a few lanes, hit my emergency lights, looked over the bridge, and that's when I observed it was a debris field. The bulldozer that it was carrying was laying in the mud. You can only see the bottom of the tracks, the trailer, and then the cab was sitting upright. And not only was the cab sitting upright, but then I saw the driver's left arm come out the door, and then I saw him move his head to the left. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's alive. And got on the radio, ran back down the bridge.
And while you're doing all of this, you're busy too. You were riding behind him. You were in your vehicle right behind the truck?
My truck was exactly behind him. We were traveling southbound on I-75, and out of nowhere, the front of the truck hit the concrete barrier, caused a lot of dust. And by the time I actually got into the dust, and it was so much dust to where I couldn't even see the truck, by the time I actually got into the dusty area, the truck was actually gone. So I locked up the brakes so I wouldn't hit him, and pulled over almost exactly where he went over, and parked the truck and looked over the bridge. And I was expecting to see a lot of water and a truck floating in water. And we found a bulldozer, and pretty much at this time, Philip has met over at the bridge with me, and we're looking over the bridge together.
So it was shallow. So what did you do? How did you get down? You couldn't jump. So how did you get yourself from I-75 down to help the truck driver?
On the north end of the bridge, there was a steep embankment, a concrete wall pretty much that we could slide down. So we just laid on our back, slid down to the muck, and was able to navigate through the muck to get to the truck with some guidance from people on the bridge to give us a more exact location of the truck.
Because the muck was so tough to get through, you couldn't really see where you were going.
There was a lot of trees and plants to where, and we were literally up to our knees and waist in mud, and we couldn't locate the truck from our point of view. So we had a lot of people on the bridge telling us to go left or right.
Who was the first one who touched the truck driver? Which one of you?
Can't remember.
You know,
too busy saving the guy's life.
When you come down a 70-foot wall like that, and you know you're in that mud, and you look up, you know, and you're trying to get guidance to which direction you're going. I can't even answer. I don't even know. I know I got in the truck, tried to move the guy around. He was wanting to move. He was wanting to get out.
He wanted
John
to live.
was assessing his condition. You know, my father was a Vietnam veteran, and he was an infantryman in the jungle. And for that brief second, when I was down in that swamp, I was thinking, is this what he dealt with when he was 19 years old? I mean, that moment clicked in my head, and I had spoke to him about it, and so when we get to the cab of the truck, and this guy's alive, he's wanting to get out. I simply asked him, do you think you can move your legs? Because I don't really know how we're going to get you out of here at this moment.
Could he move his legs?
He could. He said, I can move them. He goes, I feel good.
Did you both help carry him out?
We get him outside the cab. John's on the left side of him. I'm on the right side of him. And it just seemed like every step we took was just more and more.
Labored, yeah.
Yeah, and you just kept going deeper and deeper to your waist. And when you're wearing 30 pounds of extra equipment too, it doesn't help.
No, and the whole truck went over, so the gas could have exploded at any time.
I mean, it was very unlikely. It wasn't a gas truck, depending on how much fuel he was actually carrying in the semi, but...
you really didn't think about that, though. You just wanted to save him.
Yeah, our adrenaline's pumping as well, so obviously we're not going to think with a clear head. We're just trying to think on how to get him safely to a ambulance to get him to the hospital, because we don't know what kind of condition he's in. Right now his adrenaline's also kicked in, so if he is feeling pain, he's probably not feeling it at the time.
Well, thank you for your courage.
Thanks.
Sure.
Andrea, this is our favorite part of the event every year, getting to meet them and hear their stories. This is why the Sykes family does the luncheon, correct?
Absolutely. And it is, I think, something that most people can relate to. How many times are you on interstate and, no offense, but you see a sheriff's car? And you're like, everyone's I gotta go to the speed limit, and you're waiting for them to go off the exit, or you see a fire truck behind you with its lights, you're like, oh, I have to pull over, I don't have time. But I'm sure this gentleman is happy that they were where they were that day, because who knows how this would have turned out. These were gentlemen that just saw someone in need and took action. And these are our true heroes, which is why it's so important for us to make sure they get their special day. It should be 365 days a year where we're saying thank you, but we at least want to give them this one day and just say, thanks for everything you do. We take it for granted.